What's up, chumps? Corey here from Central Coast Disc Golf, and I am joined by the one, the only, Miss Kona Panis.
Hey everyone, super stoked to be here.
Now, Kona, this is your first time on commentary, am I correct in that?
It is, you are correct.
Awesome. So this is going to be a good round, and we've got a great card for your first time on commentary. We've got Paige Pierce. Obviously, she's on all the round one feature cards. Sarah Hokom, Val Jenkins, the hometown kid, and Madison Walker, the fan vote. How does your game match up with DeLaveaga? Because I know this is a very specific course, and a lot of these ladies have played it before, but there's really no mastering it. You've played a couple years now?
Yes, I've only played, this is my second year here, so I'm a little bit more comfortable, lost some of the fear I had from last year, so I'm more excited.
Sure. So hole one getting us started, 306 feet, but Kona, it plays so much farther than that.
Oh yeah, definitely. Any
chance you're getting it up there, or are we just playing it for three, really, to get your round started smooth?
Gosh, I'm really trying to chuck it up there and hopefully get through those trees, but I am so happy with the three.
Exactly. It's kind of one of those holes that you throw the shot for two, and then you just deal with wherever it goes.
Oh, definitely. It's the upshot that really counts.
Mm-hmm. And in years past, they didn't, have these little, wood blocks here. It was just kind of one big hill, so you could throw, a roller or a sidearm roller and really play the skip or the roll right up in there. But with these steps, it really takes a lot of power to clear it. You see these ladies really only getting to the second stage, really leaving themselves with some technical upshots.
Yeah.
Val throwing the challenger up there. That you can tell, though, those roots are no joke out here at DeLaveaga.
No, you hit one root and you're rolling way down the hill. You're getting DeLaveaga.
The classic term.
Mm-hmm.
It's really brutal because you can throw a shot that is, it's a good shot. And one little kick and you're rolling all the way back down. There are some holes out here, too, where the drop-offs behind and in front of the baskets are just brutal.
Yeah. Dang, Madison with the upshot. Let's go.
Tasty little sidearm with that pro rhino. We're going to see a lot of that out of her. We usually think Sarah to be the sidearm dominant player, really in the FPO division, but a couple of these ladies busting out some good ones.
Yeah, you don't see a lot of women throw forehands, so I think it's good to have all shots at DeLaveaga, especially just because you get in crazy positions, and forehands very useful.
Exactly. I really do feel like as Paige,
dang,
it's a big one.
Gosh, she's so good.
It's unbelievable. I feel like she sets herself up to have to make ridiculously hard putts and then just makes them so casually.
She does it for the video.
Okay. It's all for the highlights. I respect that. As these ladies clean up their pars, Val gonna have to take that unfortunate bogey. Obviously not the way she'd like to start her round here at DeLaveaga. I know she's played this course a time or two. Really, if you could just shoot threes on every hole, that's got to be one of the better rounds in the FPO division. If even par is close to 1,000 rated out here.
Yeah. Dang, Val has such a smooth drive. Look at that, no wobble.
No, it's so clean. She kind of has that across the body Annie release, but she knows how to play every angle of it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
There you have it. One bogey out there for Val. She's going to look to pick up the pace here on hole two, which does not get any easier. Again, 288 feet. You wouldn't think that far, but it takes so much power to get it up to the pin.
It's straight uphill. It's crazy.
Yeah, the video never does the elevation justice either. A little uphill shot, but you get there and you're literally throwing it into a wall.
Yeah.
Is this another one where we're playing for three and maybe just trying to get out of here?
Yeah, definitely. I think Paige is obviously going for the two. She's trying to do the inside left to get hyzer left and go for the putt, but I think she's just going to lay up and take her three.
Yeah, that hard pan, really, I was going to say by the basket, but the entire hole is that hard pan. So the ground play is so crucial here on hole two.
Yeah, you got to make sure you hit flat or that baby's rolling.
Madison throwing I believe this is the Thunderpecker.
Oh, our tour series. Shout out Factory Store. Check that out, guys.
Uh-oh. Free shipping on orders over a certain amount. I actually don't know what it is. Is it $50? I don't even know. We're calling it 50.
We're calling it 50, but correct us in the comments.
Yeah, you can tell, man. It just takes so much loft on the disc.
Yeah.
It's like one of those hyzer inside of a hyzer shots.
Yeah,
where it starts on hyzer, flips up into less so, and then, yeah.
Yeah, you're just trying to get on top of that hill, really, and then even this upshot is so scary, with the forehand, because it could, right behind the basket, it's just straight downhill.
Yeah, if it comes in at any angle, that was...
But that's perfect.
That's, perfect touch sidearm up to the basket there. But any angle, if it comes in on, it's dumping right down back behind the basket. Oof. Little worm burner, but Val knows how to play the ground out here at DeLaveaga, that's for sure.
Keeping it low.
Sarah with that Jokari she likes so much. Legacy, they don't necessarily have that overstable mid, kind of overstable putter in their lineup. So you're going to see a lot of the Legacy players throwing those Jokaris or zones or kind of something in that same family.
Yeah, and Sarah throws that disc so well.
Paige with the unfortunate root, as we were talking about earlier.
Hopefully that's sad. Oh,
It didn't.
It didn't.
It didn't. She's so far down
But she'll
there.
bang it. Oh.
Yeah, not the
run.
start. Good run, like you said, but not the start Paige was looking for. She really does have the power to get to a lot of these holes. So if she's taking kind of these frivolous 5s and 4s, rolling down hills, she can make it up, but that's 3 strokes worse than what she was hoping for.
Yeah, and you never know what's going to happen at DeLaveaga, yo.
It is. I always say it's a war of attrition. It's just like whoever makes the fewest mistakes is going to win, because there are some birdies to get, but really you just got to limit those bogeys and double bogeys and, God forbid, the triple bogeys.
Oh, my gosh.
Ladies cleaning up out here. Yeah, that hill behind the basket is really just a sense of what's to come, too.
Yeah.
Madison with the little
Slow-mo.
pirouettes.
You go, girl.
I like it. She does it kind of anytime she thinks she has a not so awesome shot, but a lot of times she'll have the best shot in the group.
Yeah.
She's just spinning.
But she's spinning so she can't even see how good it is.
I will say this whole crew, genuinely good vibes, happy people. Filming disc golf is great, but when it's super serious and tense, it's, I think, less great.
Yeah. So it's good to have groups that are super awesome.
Yeah,
and
really
talk
friendly.
to you and friendly, yeah.
Hole 3, 349 feet though, and contrary to the first two, this one plays a little bit shorter, I think, with that downhill slope. The 2 plays are what we're going to see here from Sarah, this big sidearm over the top of the trees, or that up the gut, kind of whatever you got. You could throw it sidearm, you could throw a backhand roller if you're feeling clever, or just kind of a straight mid-range or fairway driver, whatever you're feeling. We'll see what Madison draws up. Looks like the inside sidearm.
She's going down the gut.
I haven't seen as many birdies with that line. Having said that, when you're standing on the tee, it seems like a legitimate option.
Yeah, that's what I go for.
Yeah?
A few ladies, actually, most of the ladies on my card, they went down the middle.
Okay.
I didn't see anyone really go forehand because, like I said, not all the women throw a lot of crush forehands. So down the gut is usually what everyone does.
That's kind of interesting, too, because I've always been kind of the opinion that forehands take less, just less power and less physical strength to get them going. So I would assume that it would be a little bit more
Dang, Paige.
prevalent. Yeah, talk about
I
ripped.
danged her.
How dare you dang
I
her?
danged her.
But
It's good.
that putter came out of her hand so clean. The discs just launch out of her. It's so impressive.
Ooh, Val with the forehand. I like seeing her throw forehand.
It's so good, and that one had a nice little touch on it. Granted, it got a beneficial tree, but she'll take it. Any par putt out here is good putt. Paige, the typical. Oh my God!
Dang,
Skip
that
off the
accuracy.
basket.
Yeah, going through those trees. Holy crap.
That is typical Paige too. Just 100% aggression all the time.
Ooh, good run, Mad. Dang.
Yeah, Sarah going a little bit long, setting herself up for the under the tree putt. Really no angle. Her putt has a lot of loft in it. It's not necessarily like a spinny straight at it putt. So she does need that high ceiling, and low ceilings tend to be not so hot.
Yeah. I actually saw Nicole Bradley make an 80-footer from
What?
a knee.
Are you serious?
Low ceiling on the next hole. It was the
Wow.
craziest thing. I'm like, dang, where's Central Coast when you need them?
Straight up. Shout out to San Francisco Open next week. We will be filming every single FPO card out there. So if something like that does happen, we will be sure to have it on film.
Heck yeah. Paige's form. So pretty.
So powerful too, and it's not like she has that big athletic frame that there are a few FPO players that have that. They just can't generate that force that she does.
I mean, she's tiny. She's crushing it.
Yeah, she's like my height, and I'm not a tall dude. This is that hole you were talking about, hole
Yes.
4, 390 feet, as close to a par 4 as you're gonna get to out here. They do play everything as 3. It's kind of that old school mentality, but getting a 3 here is in the FPO field especially is strokes on the field. It is primo.
Yeah. I was talking to Vanessa Van Dyken yesterday, and she mentioned, there's a few of those holes that it's like, yeah, I took a 4 on a 3, but it felt like a par. It's just that long hole.
Absolutely. Like this hole, hole 13, known as I-5 out there. There are definitely a few of them. What's your play here?
I'm actually trying to hit that gap that Madison's
big
going.
hyzer.
Yeah, just
All right.
crushing it, and hopefully not hitting a tree, ending in a good position. Which that's not that bad if it sits.
No, that's not bad. Which it didn't sit though. But
Shoot.
if you can get past this little tree cluster that you're gonna try and throw over, really, it's hard to ask for more than that, because if you're gonna try to peer this gap, like, I mean, you see Val here, she gets it up there, but there's still like a lot of real estate to cover to get to that pin.
Yeah, and it's downsloping too.
Yep. If you do throw that hyzer that you mentioned, at least it breaks away from that death on the right side. So, that has that going for it.
Oh, miss everything.
It missed most things.
Okay, yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah, if you can have that kind of approach, maybe 100 feet to the basket, you're in business.
Sarah with that disc again.
I know. I wanted to know like what it was, like the American flag stamp, but it's actually not an American flag stamp, but it looks just like it. It's so cool.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
That would have been ESPN if they went in.
I know.
Come on.
A birdie on this one. I mean, it legitimately would feel like an eagle, no question.
No doubt.
Val with a little
Stay low,
touchy
stay low.
challenger. Yeah.
Short.
And you could just see, I mean, really, you have to be far left and throwing the sidearm, or right in the middle of these trees if you're going to throw that backhand. It's really hard to throw that turnover.
Yep. Madison, trusty Rhino, so perfect.
It's so zesty. I need to get me one of those. I feel like pro rhinos are like the gems of the rhinos, too. Everybody's hunting those.
Ooh. Good run from Paige.
Yeah, typical Paige again. That's going to be like a reoccurring theme where she just runs everything.
Everything?
Even though we're at DeLaveaga.
She's like, what's DeLaveaga? I'm
Right.
running this.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Yeah, I've never even seen a hill before.
Yeah, good putt.
She's got a really clean spin putt.
She putts like with authority.
Right?
She's not trying to just lay it in there. She's banging it in
Yeah,
there.
100%. I mean, she is extremely methodical on the putting green. She does her routine every time. One pump, disc flip, second pump, disc flip, and go. But, hey, it works for her, and she puts them in. A lot of pars out here. Val taking another bogue, unfortunately. But a 4, again, though, not a terrible score, right?
It does not feel like a 4, but yeah, on the card it is a bogey.
Yep.
Ugh.
Yeah, not ideal. Square around it. But you see Sarah with legitimately some of the most unique sidearm form out there. She gets it done. She plays the angles so well.
Yeah, she smashes forehands. She's
All right, back to the action, and thank you so much to Innova for bringing us out here and sponsoring you.
yeah, woo, thanks Innova, wow.
Obviously, they make great discs. They are pretty much the industry standard when it comes to it. They have the full lineup, so really nothing to knock.
Hey, it's me.
Hey, that is
it's
you.
me, Colton.
We were flying behind you guys for a
Oh,
couple
that's
holes
funny.
there. I imagine you threw it over the trees and got your bird.
In my dreams.
You gotta,
Not in my dreams. Next year probably, but it's a crush. You're going uphill. You have to get the height to get over, and yeah, that's crazy. If I want to see Paige do it.
Exactly. I was just going to say, we see a lot of the MPO field obviously trying to throw over those trees, as 318 feet doesn't seem far, but it's a good 450 to 500 on a hyzer. Paige, probably the only person in the FPO division even going to try it.
All right, Paige, let's go, girl.
Playing the flex line, you see a lot of
Go.
guys playing that. And she's done it.
Oh my gosh, I hate you. Oh my gosh, you're so good.
It's that loving hate.
Yes, a loving hate, girl. Dang. All right, Val.
And one of the trees has fallen down in that middle gap. You see that log sitting there. So that the sidearm roller or the skip shot really has been a viable play, but not now.
Anymore. Yeah, see, this is what most women are doing. We're kind of like laying up or throwing as far as we can to that and then just trying to throw over. Unfortunate position for Sarah, though.
Yeah, not ideal. If you get pinned under those trees, you can face just, I mean, you're 50 feet away, but you don't have anything. Madison.
Oh,
Wow, that
dang.
little sneaky shot, though, snuck right into that gap and gave her a look. Sarah just a little high.
Yes.
Good,
Wow.
clean putt. Just genuinely one of the most consistent forms. MPO, FPO, regardless. She knows what she's doing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, good comebacker.
Yeah, if you miss a putt on this, it could get a little squirrely with those bushes on the left. Again, could be 10, 15 feet and have to do a little straddle out, something fancy. But Paige, that is a staple birdie.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, that's a stroke, probably a stroke and a half on the field.
Yes. Madison running away.
Just getting out of there. I mean, shoot, this is the Paige show right now. Doesn't necessarily have that straight line release. Kind of reaches back a little bit off axis, but gosh, the explosion and the spin velocity that she puts on is just so impressive.
Crazy.
Puts her back down to 1 over par. And if you can get out of this field with even or 1 over, then you're fine. You are on pace to shoot well. Hole 6, 417 feet. Does play significantly shorter than that 318-foot hole we just played, though. Really nothing in your way, and recently the tree on the left has been cut down to even open it up further. We see Paige here reaching for the PMAC Truth, the Peter McBride signature series.
PMAC Truth.
Yeah, I love it. And that's a truth, and she just smoked it all the way down there. She's got maybe 45, 50, which is probably actually where you don't want to be on this hole, to be fair, because that OB lingers large right past the pin.
Yeah, I'm curious if she'll go for it, just because, like you said, the OB's right behind it, and it's so you're like, oh, I could run this,
Yes,
I could do it.
exactly.
But it's like, is it worth it? So.
And remember, this is Paige, so when in doubt, run it. But we'll see if she sticks to that mindset. Val, maybe a little bit more loft needed on that, but that tree on the right side has grown in pretty significantly over the last couple years, really limiting that hyzer line. Throwing right at baby Coraline.
Oh no, stay away from the baby.
Right.
Good shot.
Nate Sexton having to back the family up, but she's in business. But again, that's like right outside of 2-day shipping. That's not ideal.
2 days. Madison with cool socks.
Cool socks. Honestly, kudos on the outfit.
Yeah, girl.
She's working it.
Mm-hmm.
XT Colt up to the pin. Solid. Very like Flint Tropics theme, if you've seen that movie from... No? No semi-pro, Will Ferrell? All right.
Just laying up. Oh, scary layup.
Yeah, she said she hates laying up. That was like the quote of her, and that's why. I mean, she laid herself up to maybe like 25 feet.
No
It's
big
Paige,
deal.
though. It's
I'm
Paige.
Paige Pierce. I make putts. It's whatever.
Her putt is, not only is her mindset aggressive, but that putt is aggressive, like almost polar opposite of Sarah. It's really funny to kind of watch that contrast with the like pure aggressive spin putt compared to the lofty pitch putt. But I mean, what, they're 10, 15 points ratings apart, so
Sarah trying to dodge discs from top of the world.
exactly. It's one of the most unique situations at any tournament. Like, you just hear, it could be like 10 different numbers. 25, 6, 1, parking lot.
I just get on the ground and cover my head.
As a cameraman, I'm trying to face forward, and like, it's so vulnerable.
Just don't hit me.
Yep.
Madison's cheesing hard.
I know. I love it. We have 4 smiles on the headshots. That has like never happened
Really?
before.
With someone so angry?
Oh no, there's always the deadly serious, like the AJ Risley, the Paul Macbeth, just mean mugging.
Guys, we're playing disc golf.
That's what I'm saying. We're throwing frisbees in the woods.
We're having fun.
Hole 7, 395, does fade pretty significantly downhill and really gets aggressive down by the pin. You got to keep something straight and drift it right just past these trees. But,
Flip.
oh, look at that
Flip,
convict
flip.
go. Straight into
that's-
a tree, and that's
that's rough.
2-metered Kona.
It is.
It is.
Oh.
And honestly, almost a good thing, because if that just goes clean through there, that's so far into those woods. I mean, maybe not a good thing, but less of a bad thing.
Yeah, that's a tough shot.
What are you throwing here? Kind of like a flippy fairway up the middle and just riding it down?
Yeah, so on this hole, Colton showed up, and I'm like, dude, do I throw the Wombat 3 for the glide,
Whoa.
or do I throw the Leopard? And so I threw the Leopard and actually got down there, probably my best drive on this hole. And I was like, okay, thanks, see you later. Good luck at your round.
Yeah,
Oh,
right.
dang, that's a good drive too.
That's solid. I think you made the good decision with the leopard. You do need that glide, and really, it doesn't feel like it's that long. But once you crest that hill, it has to stand. It has to hold up for a pretty significantly long time. Val, after hitting that early tree, you have to imagine she's been in this position before. It's such a common mistake.
That looked pretty good.
That was clean, and really keeping it low is the goal here, because any high or any sort of elevation on that disc is going to just have it fade left or right, and that's
Or
it's
you can
just
hit trees
danger.
if you throw it too high too.
This is true.
Oh, sit
It's
down
sat.
there. It's a tough putt.
Yeah, but that is a good ground reaction considering what could possibly happen on this green. Genuinely one of the most sketchy greens on the course. That drop off is so extreme right next to the pin.
Oh, dang. Okay, at least she was out of it.
Yeah, she was just into this little front tree, and it was hanging by a thread on that tree.
Get it. Oh, great
And that
run.
is, you can see Paige knows, that she probably made not the ideal decision. Granted, she almost hit it, but now she is so far down that hill. Yeah, it's just pure sidearm, just like scramble mode.
Yep.
Trying to get that Denny sponsorship.
Scramble 100%, yo. Ooh.
Almost puts it in for her 3.
Mm-hmm.
XT Colt. Interesting that she's putting with the XT Colt. Generally, I imagine it as more of an upshot putter.
Really? I putt with the XT Colt.
Do you?
We do. We have twinning putters.
What?
We do.
Why the XT Colt over it's shallow for sure.
Shallow. I used to putt with the McPros and the KCs, and they just tailed off left, where the Colt seems to almost like flip up from a distance for me.
I totally agree. It's like much more straighter and much more neutral flight path for sure.
And small hand solo.
Hey,
profile.
I feel that, girl.
Yeah.
I'm right there with you.
Sarah with a smash.
Look at that. It's like a performance art. The
Yes.
side, and when you put it in
Yes.
slow-mo, it's almost like a fire dancer doing her
Mhm.
thing. Yeah, this one definitely drew some blood. Not surprising at all, though. It is such a difficult 3. Really kudos to Sarah for putting it together and getting her 3 there. Hole 8, par 3, what's new, but 348 feet. Downhill, really a nice little tunnel shot. The ground is not consistent, so while you're trying to play that little skip, any route there is going to send you off target. Should be noted that road on the left is out of bounds. What are you doing here? Mid-range, maybe that same leopard you threw on 7?
No, I'm throwing a mid-ranger to going
Okay.
downhill,
I
getting some
agree.
glide, but I actually had someone say, Val always gets the reverse skip on this hole.
Yep.
Yeah, so I'm interested to see if we'll see some of those.
Yep, that is, I think, the play. If you throw it dead down the middle on a little bit of a hyzer angle, it is going to give you that neg skip and kind of bring you right back towards the basket. Madison kind of catching lettuce early, unfortunately. Val throwing, gosh, you have to.
Turn. Look, she's using body.
Yep.
Go right. Stay in bounds. All right, that's
Yeah,
not bad.
That's not bad at all. And, if you're looking at the basket, you're doing okay on this hole.
Oh, I feel like that branch kind of helped out a
Oh,
little
yes,
bit.
please. Put her right back on that hyzer angle. And that's what you're talking about that skip that isn't going to necessarily shoot you far off left. It's just kind of going to nestle you into those logs over there. Yeah, turning over the sidearm a little bit, just kind of buried it into the ground. Honestly, I feel like that's a backhand approach that she kind of forced the sidearm into.
That's really funny that you said that, because I was thinking that exact same thing. I'd be scared to throw a forehand on this, but she's so consistent with it that that's more comfortable to her.
This is true. And out at DeLaveaga, really, I feel like it's most important just to hit your line and get yourself what you feel comfortable. Ooh, almost off the tree and in.
Mm-hmm.
But throwing the shot, you was most comfortable like hitting a gap at 100 feet.
Yes.
That to me is DeLaveaga.
Yes. In between the trees.
I was going to say, very nicely framed here.
Drop. Good run.
Great run. And that road does play out of bounds. So any weird kicks off this number plate or top of the basket, that's pretty close to the basket here.
Mm-hmm. Oh. Look, she's so...
Trying to kick at it. Yeah, there are a lot of, like Ian Anderson would call them jerk branches out here at DeLaveaga. There's so many just kind of like hidden little things to get you up on.
Mm-hmm.
Paige not able to put down the birdie putt, unfortunately. I feel like she, is better from 28 feet to 35 feet than she is from, 18 to 25. It's so strange.
Yeah, it's funny. Everybody tapping in.
Yeah, a bunch of 3s and the unfortunate 4 there for Madison, I believe.
Oh, cool shot.
Yeah, the little peekaboo, as we call
Yeah.
him, with Brian Geis. Really big shout out to Brian. He's been doing a lot of our glam cam this year and really doing a great job. Oh, excuse me, yeah, Sarah with that bogey as well. Catching that early tree off the tee. 8 holes in, and this would be our last hole, but we are playing a 24-hole layout at DeLaveaga, which makes things a little crazy, not only for the players, but for us as media too.
Yep.
But this is not hole 9, but 8A out here at DeLaveaga. They kind of have a unique naming convention for a little bit, or for some of their holes, and we are going to jump around a little bit as far as the numbers. Hole 8A, though, par 3, 201 feet. Classic, like 2 or a 5 hole.
Yeah, Jennifer Allen actually aced this hole with her Star AVR 3 during a practice round.
Did
so
she?
Shout out, Jen.
Star AVR 3, she throws hard then, because that is not a flippy disc.
No.
That is Val's Archer right there that she's throwing, and that is an extremely flippy disc. So to hear that she was throwing an AVR 3, she must have really got over on it.
And great shot from Val. Oh my gosh.
Oh no, Paige, the Lucid Deputy, just not able to get it low enough, and that is the danger. Like, that is classic 8A right there.
Ooh. Forehand is so scary, but look at that control.
I agree.
Oh, sit.
And she did, I believe, throw her Firebird there, an old beat-up Firebird, and that is what you're going to get if you're going to throw the Firebird.
Yeah, that's too fast.
It's a classic. It's one of those holes that, like, everybody would say, oh, lefty hole or sidearm hole, but it really just is a backhand hole.
Yes.
Now, Paige and Madison both got kicks that were bad enough to warrant the re-tee. So this is Paige re-teeing and showing us how she should have done it.
All right. Ah, that stinks.
I know, isn't that? It really burns too, because, like, there's just no reason not to do that on the first one. It's a tiny gap, but.
Yeah, but dude, I hit the tree right there during that round and bounced like right back at me. It's still a ton.
Did
She
you
was so
re-tee?
excited. I didn't. It rolled. No, I did not re-tee. I did not think with my brain. No.
Well, we're not going to talk about what you ended up taking with the hole, but
Ooh.
Sarah almost putting it in from downtown, just kind of into that shadowy abyss down there.
Madison rolled.
Yeah, not ideal, and I think at this point we are looking at a small straight with the 2 from Val hopefully incoming, the 4 now from Paige.
Yeah, scramble golf.
DeLaveaga is scramble golf, no question. The second you get off the fairway, I mean, you could tell just by this hole, and really every hole we've played, it just gets bad.
Nice 2, Val. Dang.
That's absolutely a feel-good, too. Big shout-out to the PDGA for bringing us out here. Obviously, everyone out there, join the PDGA. I want to see those numbers rise as fast as we can so that my 858 PDGA number doesn't seem so new. It's kind of embarrassing.
I mean, crap. I'm 27832.
What?
I'm.
Were you one of those like, okay, yes, I'm so glad you brought this up because I have a question for you, Kona. Do you know what your first rating ever was?
Oh gosh, I think it was like.
First, like, 2 ratings.
I think it was like 2 or 3. It was really low.
200 and something.
Yes.
How is that possible?
I was like 10 years old, and I threw thumbers on every single
Really?
It was a mountain course, and I was throwing thumbers on every single shot.
Because I think that, honestly, you may have the biggest ratings jump in the history of the PDGA. I think it went from, like, the mid-200s to the mid-700s. That's a 500-point ratings jump.
You're like, whoa, she got good.
Yeah, right? We were talking about it a little bit on the Jonesboro live coverage, me and Sean Jack, and it was just kind of, it was like my favorite little factoid that we brought up for the whole, it's so hilarious. But hole 9, 315, does take a little more skill than the 250 rating that you started with.
No.
You could really either
roasted.
play this big flex sidearm and kind of avoid all the eye level trees, or the up the gut shot that we saw Val throw. It's just a toughie though. Yeah. We have lost a ton of trees out here. In years past, it was a little bit more crowded, but it's just, I don't know if there's like a super pure line to get it. I mean,
that's it right
that's
there.
it.
Oh my gosh.
Turns out you just gotta throw a PMAC Truth.
Oh my
Shouts to
gosh.
Peter McBride.
Yeah.
That's doing work right there. That's
a
fine.
Perfect shot for this hole.
Yeah, the little like kind of start it high and turn it over, but really a net straight.
Oh, keep turning. Oh, keep turning. Get lucky. Get lucky. Ooh.
It's
That's
low.
what she meant to do. I
Oh yeah,
guess.
totally.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, throw it as low as you possibly can and run it up there.
Mm-hmm.
Val with little patent pending stance, but yeah, it's gonna leave a little meat on that bone.
Yeah, when are we actually gonna name that stance?
It will never be
Is
pended.
that just the name now forever?
It is.
That's the name. That's it.
It is, and it can never be patented. It's caught up in HR. It's a whole thing.
Ooh.
It's still pending.
Dang it.
Yeah, Madison giving that a good run for 2, though. Definitely a bonus birdie. Not one that you step up to, like, expecting the 2 at all.
No.
Good putt, Val.
Yeah, good par save.
You know, again, par golf, good golf. If you can come out here and shoot a 72, it's smoking hot. Like,
Oh, yeah.
I can't emphasize that enough. Every hole you walk away with a par is doing work.
Or you can just birdie.
Yeah, or you just casual.
It's whatever.
Yep. 4 last hole on the shortest one out here, and then deucing this one.
Mm-hmm. I feel like DeLaveaga's that kind of course where it's like you can do horrible on one hole, and then the next hole you come and just birdie, and it's awesome.
Exactly. It's true. Like, none of these holes are some of them, admittedly, are unbirdieable. But in general, you can score on a lot of these. It's just about stringing them together and avoiding the trouble.
Yep. Slow-mo banger.
Look at that one. Did have a little bit of wobble on it, but we will take it because that's a 3. Yeah, wow. Not much damage out here. A couple holes back, we did see some blood drawn, but playing the hole 1 under as a card, that's good stuff. Hole 3, 347, kind of playing right down back that same fairway, just in the opposite direction. This hole admittedly does kind of cause some backups on that hole 9 if everybody ends up waiting for people to play, but as we see, I believe that is Jessica Weiss and Garrett Girthy out there throwing some practice putts, but really 2 options off the tee. You could throw the straight to right finishing mid-range as Paige is going to throw now.
Dang.
Yeah.
Dang.
She has that PMAC truth dialed.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Shout out to the spotter on this hole. There was only one who was spotting on both sides.
Wow.
So he would be like, all right, you guys pause. Okay, you go. And that was awesome.
Oh, really? So he was really like doing traffic control out
Yes.
there. That's awesome.
So that was really cool.
And shout out to really, they had, I mean, De La is such a good, or I guess I should say Santa Cruz is such a good disc golf community, but they had, this tournament is such a well-oiled machine, and they had spotters out there really at all the right spots. Not to say there's like a zillion spotters, but just right where you needed them, I felt.
Yeah. Oh, sit. Whew.
Yeah, Sarah opting for that sidearm line, obviously playing it a little bit more inside than she'd like. You can play that sidearm up the gut or to the left and kind of, take your luck with the trees. I prefer the inside line that we're going to see.
Madison.
Yep. Just need a little bit more nose down and kind of forward trajectory rather than that kind of more floaty up. We saw the spotter here giving her the green.
That with a smooth up shot.
Yeah, that OB road does come into play on that sidearm more specifically because if you get that skip, it is going to get a little hairy. But looks like all of our women have avoided it. Going back to the well with that Pro Rhino. Taking her time.
Yeah, I was like, that's a tough shot.
Yeah, she was kind of torn between going left of this tree and right, and now she's going to opt for that kind of turnover sidearm. Does leave it short, though. Maybe she should have gone left.
Ooh, little pan pending. Ooh.
Ooh.
Dang, girl.
That's like the spinniest little putt I've ever seen Sarah throw.
What? Yes, Paige, yes.
Wow, birdie, 9 and 10. That is, that's just great. That's 1,000 rated golf.
I guess it's 9 and 10. Avery Jenkins calls it yick and yak back
Frickin'
to back.
frack.
Oh, it's frickin' frack.
Frickin'
back.
frack.
Oh, yes.
I kind of like yick and yak, though, now that you're saying it.
Sorry, pardon me. Excuse me, I got it wrong.
Yeah, freaking frack there and back.
I thought that was cute.
I know. It was good. Avery, the kind of, I guess not so, we wouldn't call him a local nowadays, but I feel like he's got that, like, eternal local status, him and Nate both, and Val, like, no matter where they are, they'll always be Santa Cruz peeps.
Oh.
Ooh, stylish disc pillar.
Ping.
Look at that hand. Keeping that hand up. Painting the pole, as they say.
It's all about the follow through.
100%. You're 100% right. It's committing to the form and follow through. It's crazy how much that actually genuinely does come into play. Like, most of the action you're getting on the disc is after you release it.
Yep.
I firmly believe it. Hole 11, the last hole on our front 12 coverage, 369 feet of just pure terror, Coda.
It's just so scary.
What do you do? Do you try and just pure it all the way up there, or do you kind of play that bailout left play?
No, I try and pure it, but yesterday I didn't want to go left. My disc went left, and I actually had upshot. Took my 3, and I was like, how? How is this possible?
Yeah.
Stay in the fairway.
Ooh. Yes, please on that kick.
Yes.
That could have gone
Tree love.
awry. Yes. The day love, as they call it. I believe Val's going for the thrasher here.
Dang, girl. Is it?
Yeah. I mean, she is maybe going to have a few trees in her way, but if you can get a fair amount up the tunnel here. This is the play I like personally, as I am kind of more of a sidearm dominant player. It really opens up on that left side, and if you can get the angle right, you can get it to carry pretty good ways down there. I mean, you can see Hokom's maybe, 85 to 100, which is fine.
Madison with her hair up. Oh,
No!
tough tree.
Yeah, the day, I mean, I feel like it was like kind of frigid when we were driving up in the morning, and then it like got hot.
Super hot. And kudos to Madison for wearing a skirt, because I am so scared of that poison oak.
Oh, I was just going to say, her and Val both are like, you got a lot of skin showing for the amount of oak out here.
I was sweating, but I'm like, no way am I getting poison oak. Oh,
on board.
Kick.
I have to imagine Val knows the look of poison oak at this point, but Madison just committing to the bit.
Mm-hmm. Nice forehand.
Yeah, really saucy approach there.
Tough spot, but good up. Dang, girl.
Yeah, Valerie just plugging along, getting her threes. Sarah with another way more spinnier than usual with upshot.
Oof.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, a bit of trouble. This is really the first kind of big hiccup for Madison here. She is going to be taking that 5, I believe. Hokom tapping in her 3. Really a great score in this hole. I can't emphasize that enough. There's so much trouble to be had. Walk away with a 3, move on to the kitchen, and just really, honestly, it's at this point where 3s are at a premium, because this hole, the kitchen, I-5, 14 after that are just no jokers.
Why do they call it the kitchen? Do you know?
It is because, actually, originally it was called the refrigerator, because there is a old abandoned refrigerator down there, and the idea being, like, if you go all the way down there, you got to grab a beer out of the fridge for everyone.
Oh, that's cute.
Yep. So there we have it. After our first 12 holes, we got pretty much locked up tight at 2 over from Paige, Sarah, and Val. And Madison, unfortunately, taking that double bogey is going to move her to 6 over through the first half. But there is a lot of golf to play, and if she can stay strong and just keep going, then, it's day law. Anything's possible.
Yep, anything's possible at day law.
All right, so that is going to do it for our first half. Tune in real soon for part 2.